Hi, my name is Amani, or at Amani's Honest Reviews, or at Meet Cute Romance Books on Instagram. And today I'm going to be doing a birthday book haul. So, the first book that I'm going to talk to you about is The Theft of Sunlight, and it is by Intisar Kanani. And it is essentially perfect for people who like the Cool Prince series and want something that is a little bit different. This has a bit of a different twist, and the characters are all super lovable, and I highly recommend it. I believe the first book in the series is called Thorn, and it is a retelling, and I highly recommend reading Thorn before you read The Theft of Sunlight. So if you have not read The Theft of Sunlight yet, you should read. If you have not read Thorn yet, you should read Thorn before reading The Theft of Sunlight. Okay, so the second book is Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and this is by Talia Hibbert. I actually recently got to do an interview with Talia Hibbert, so I'll link that down below once that's up. It'll be up on Pop Culturist, and I'm honestly so excited for everyone to read it and for everyone to learn more about Talia Hibbert, because Talia is an awesome person to interview, and I'm really glad I got to listen to some insight on what it takes to be an author, as well as what it takes to write incredibly diverse but steamy romance books. And Get a Life, Chloe Brown features a protagonist that is actually chronically ill, which is something I haven't seen in an adult. It's something I haven't seen in an adult book before, so I'm really, really excited for more people to experience this book, and I highly recommend picking this book up. The next one is called Secrets of Divine Love, and this is a book that I am actually reading with a book club. I like the fact that it breaks it down into chapters, and it's very reflective at the end. So each chapter has a summary, and at the end, there's an activity that you need to do. And you don't have to do the activity, but if you do the activity, then it's a lot more beneficial than just reading the book. So this next one, I actually won this as a giveaway, and it's called Love at First by Kate. I believe it's Kate Claiborne. Hopefully, I do not butcher Kate's name. And this is really great because I was not expecting to win this at all. And the giveaway was hosted by Kim from Books All the Way Down on Instagram. And that's Kim from Books All the Way Down on Instagram. So I will link Kim's Instagram handle in the description box down below if you are interested in checking out Kim's, if you're interested in checking out Kim's. Yeah. So this is basically Meet Cute happened 16 years ago, and they meet 16 years later, but they're not friends. They're actually enemies. So it's very interesting because the protagonist is a bit of a feminist, and I haven't seen this take too many times before, and I don't typically read that, like those types of fictional books. I mean, I'm all for a strong female protagonist, but I haven't read too many with like a feminist twist to it. So this is something different for me, and I'm really excited to dive into this. And The Silvered Serpents, and it's by Rashani Chokshi. And I really love The Gilded Wolves, and one of my friends on Instagram actually recommended The Gilded Wolves to me, and it's perfect for anybody who's a Six of Crows fan. At least that's what she was telling me, because apparently Six of Crows is a heist book, and I am still getting through the Shadow and Bone trilogy, so I will eventually be reading Six of Crows. I just haven't read it yet, and I'm probably one of the few people on BookTube who have not read it just yet. But I highly, highly, highly recommend picking up The Gilded Wolves, because The Gilded Wolves is actually a super fast-paced adventure book, and it has a lot of diverse characters. I resonated with so many of them, and it was so great to like see this diversity in a heist book, and I want more. Like, I love Rashani's writing, and it's amazing. And I can't wait to finish reading The Silvered Serpents. I've heard so many incredible things, and also the fact that I'm probably going to be heartbroken by the end of it. So this was one of the books that I got, and it's Crooked Kingdom. So I'm excited to eventually get around to reading Crooked Kingdom. I have no idea what's coming for me with this book, but I've heard so many great things about this one. The last one that I have physically is called Crush, and it's by Tracy Wolf. This is more of a guilty pleasure kind of book. To summarize, this is kind of the new Twilight. But this is the second book. There's a third book that recently came out that's called Covet, and I don't know if I'll be reading Covet actually. It really depends on how I feel after reading Crush. I read Crave. It's liked it and hated Crave. Like it was just a fun, easy read and it got me out of the reading slump. So honestly, if you're in a reading slump and you need an easy book to read, I highly recommend this trilogy. Well, it's technically going to be a quartet because there's going to be like one more book coming out. But I think that won't be until next year or the following year or something. All right. So some other books that I actually have not like received yet because I pre-ordered them is Instructions for Dancing. So that's Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. And that is an incredible book. I got the ARC and it was so good and so cute. And then the other book was Along for the Ride. And it's actually so it's a Wattpad book, but I actually got to meet the author at a WatCon convention back in the day, so like 2016, 2015, something like that. And this was all obviously pre-COVID. One of the interesting things was like getting to meet an author for the first time, and she was one of the first authors that I've actually gotten to meet in person. So that was really cool. And she was one of my favorite authors on Wattpad. And it's called Hana Khan Carries On, and it's by Uzma Jalaluddin. I also am doing some media coverage for that, so I can't really talk about like all my thoughts on Hana Khan Carries On, but I've read the arc, and the arc was amazing. The book is amazing. Uzma Jalaluddin is one of my favorite Muslim authors. She writes incredible Muslim characters who actually do like love their religion, and they also love being Muslim, which is so rare to see in books, unfortunately. But I'm glad that like authors like Asma Jalaluddin and SKOE are out there doing their best to give us characters that feel authentic to us. And then speaking of SKOE, so another book that I actually have coming, it's coming in May, is Misfit in Love. So Misfit in Love, as you know from my previous videos, I won't even, but basically Misfit in Love follows the story of Jenna Yusuf, and Jenna has grown up a lot and she is now in high school, I believe, or finishing high school, something like that. And we also get a bit of a cameo appearance from Adam and Zainab from Love from A to Z. So if you've read Saints and Misfits and you've read Love from A to Z, I highly recommend picking up Misfit in Love in May. If you haven't read Love from A to Z and Saints and Misfits, then I recommend picking those two up before reading Misfit in Love. But there are also a lot of exciting promo stuff happening in like, the upcoming months. Like I believe sometime mid-April-ish, we're doing something called a Mandy Party where everyone's getting dressed up on TikTok and celebrating Sarah's Mandy Party, which Sarah is one of the protagonists in Misfit in Love, and she's getting married to Jenna's older brother Muhammad. So the wedding is a virtual wedding to celebrate the book launch of Misfit in Love. And then there's going to be like an actual nikah ceremony, which is the Islamic wedding that we're also going to have virtual events for on TikTok and other social media platforms. So keep an eye out for that. And you can also follow me in the description down below if you would like to stay updated on when those events. And I believe that's it as far as like books that I'm like looking forward to that are coming that I know of. If I get any other books, they're probably going to be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. So until next time, bye. Until next time, bye.